Coming up, we hope another lucky listener planned their Disneyland vacation. That's all coming up next. From points across California, you're listening to the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged Disneyland edition, episode 548 for the week of February 7th, 2016. The Diz Unplugged Disneyland edition is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, helping you plan the perfect Disneyland vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello everyone and welcome to the show. I'm your host Tom Bell and I'm joined by my good friends Nancy Johnson.
Hey!
Mary Jo Mulatto Willie.
Hello.
Michael Bowling.
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
And Tony Spatel.
Hello.
Plus our special guest, Karin Johnson. Welcome, Karin.
Hello.
So, where are you calling from tonight?
I'm calling from Minnesota. We live in Burnsville, the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what time is it there? 10:30?
It is 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Tom, it is 10:30.
Where are you at this week, Tony?
Wait. Oh, Chicago. I think Chicago. Like
Are you Chodlin Town?
Yes.
And I was in Minnesota this morning. I flew through Minnesota. I did a red eye so I could watch the Super Bowl.
Nice.
/ record a freaking podcast. Watch the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right, so you have a trip coming up.
Yes, we do.
Not you, Tony. Yeah. Yes, you do. Okay. Now, who is we? Who's going on your trip?
I'm going, and
Okay, cool.
my husband and our 3 boys. We have twins who are 11 and a 14-year-old.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And this is a work trip, right? Kind of?
Yeah, my husband, Jeff, he has a conference that he's going to, and that's the reason for the trip. But of course, I heard it was in Anaheim, so we added on many days to do other things.
Nice.
Smart.
He cooperates really well. It's really nice.
So he's trained. Okay. Yeah.
Well, we got to Aulani 2 years ago because of the same conference, so it's worked out pretty nicely. It's been really a treat.
Nice.
So,
So how many?
we like an excuse.
How many days are you in town?
We're in town 11 nights.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I've only been to California once, just to San Diego for the same conference 15 years ago. And so I'm just eager to see as much as we can when we're there.
Now,
So,
are you splitting up the trip between different locations or?
we are.
Okay.
We were originally going to stay a couple nights in San Diego, but we changed that to a day trip because it would have made we would have had to be in 4 different hotels, and we wanted to keep it a little simpler.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But right now our plan is to, on the 13th of April, we go to the Anaheim Marriott for a few nights for his conference. And then we go to the Disneyland Hotel for 6 nights. And then we go to the Spring Hill Suites in Burbank for 2 nights.
Okay. So you can do
Just
the
down the street.
Hollywood portion
that
from
right?
there, or?
Yeah. I
Okay.
live in Burbank.
Oh, I'll wave.
We'll have
Nancy
to
will
get
have you.
together.
Yeah,
have
good
to get
luck
together.
keeping it to just a wave. I'm just saying.
So, all right. So how many days are you going to be in the parks? All 5? You're going to do the 5-day pass, or?
Yeah, we're going to get a 5-day hopper pass.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to get Twilight passes for 1 night
Okay.
for
To
everybody.
the conference. Okay.
Yeah, the conference ticket. So from 4 o'clock till close is
Right.
what I understand there.
Okay.
So our goal is to use those the first night that we arrive. We actually land at about 1:30 at LAX.
Okay.
And hopefully we want to be able to get to the parks and use the park, I should say, because I think they aren't hoppers. So just Disneyland that first night.
Mm-hmm.
Is that realistic, though? Maybe that's not realistic.
You land at what time?
1:30 at LAX. So
Yeah, you're fine.
How late does the park
Well,
open
what-
that night?
What,
We
what
don't know
day,
yet. Never mind.
What day are you getting in? Is it a weekend or a weekday?
it's a Wednesday, and they're
So
the
that- I think-
guests that they'd be open till about 9, but I know we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
So
Well, even if you let's say you get in let's say you probably would get into Disneyland, let's say by 4 p.m.
mhm.
Yeah.
So whether it's 4 to 5 hours is going to be worth it to you. that's still a nice way to start your evening. But there's other things to do at downtown Disney if you don't want to spend, your first day going in for just the 4 hours.
What's the price break on the Twilight ticket?
They're $60 a piece.
Ooh, okay.
Did that sound like a lot or not a lot? You said, ooh.
That's about what the Disney World convention tickets were.
Is it? We were
Yeah.
just grateful to get a little extra time
Sure.
because I know one of the big complaints is that you can only get a 5-day pass unless
Right.
you get an annual pass. So I think it's probably worth it for us. And one reason is that my husband is he's going to be busy with the conference for a few
Okay,
days.
that'll be his only chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we want to go together the first time, that was the argument
Okay.
I kind of thought made sense.
Then it's worth it.
No, that's
I
definitely
think it's
worth it.
Yeah, because I'd feel kind of bad experiencing a lot of it and then later bringing him in.
Yeah.
So
Plus the kids get, let's see, what are the dates again?
the 13th of April to the 24th. So Wednesday to a Sunday.
Do we know how long Seasons of the Force is lasting?
A while.
Okay, so then that alone is worth it for the extra day of Hyperspace Mountain.
Nice.
We're
And
so
Star
excited
Tours.
for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's come back to Disneyland for a second. Where else are you heading during your trip?
Aside from Disneyland, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So we want to take one day and do a day trip. I want to do while Jeff is at the conference. I want to take one day, rent a car, and do like a beach outing.
Okay.
So see the ocean somewhere. And I was thinking of maybe Huntington Beach, based on the show about that.
Okay.
That sounded really good. But some kind of outing where we could see the ocean and maybe ride bikes near the ocean and
Okay.
have lunch, that kind of thing. And then one other day when Jeff is back with us,
Okay.
we would drive to San Diego, and then we want to make a full day of it.
And then
And then the last couple nights is that LA area.
Okay, and then you can do Hollywood and things like that out of Burbank.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a few different things planned there.
Okay,
but-
cool. Okay, we'll get to that. All right. What kind of questions do you have for us? Where do you want to start? Do you want to start at Disneyland, or do you want to start?
I guess Disneyland is
Okay.
probably the best.
Okay.
And one reason I was thinking that is I think I can book dining pretty soon. And in case there's a package that I want to book,
Right.
it sounds like they don't book up too fast, but just in case.
Okay.
You can walk in literally and just sit
No.
down next to somebody and start eating.
Yeah, sure.
I love that. Disney World is not like that. So,
All right. So, what questions do you have for us?
well, one thing I was wondering about was the dinner packages for the parade or for World of Color. I was thinking about those doing the Carthay Circle lunch package.
Okay.
If you think that is worth it, because we wanted to go to Carthay anyway. So it seemed like a good opportunity to combine the two.
Yes, if you want to go to Carthay anyway, the lunch package is good.
Order those biscuits, though.
Yeah, order the
Not-
extra
they're-
biscuits on the
yeah.
side, but yeah.
Because they don't come with the package.
We need the biscuits. I already made that
Yes.
clear to my family because I heard about them here.
Now because the price is basically the same, right? For the whether you get the package or not. Well, not the same, but I mean similar.
It's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad, and the seating is significantly better for, in my judgment, for World of Color using the Carthay package. As far as the package for Paint the Night is the other one you were talking about, right?
That's right.
I don't know.
They're
There's just
new,
so
too,
much.
I think.
There's so much viewing area for Paint the Night and for Disneyland Forever. I'm not sure that it's worth it. Mm-hmm. Mary Jo, what do you think? Have you
My
seen?
personal opinion
Yeah.
is you don't need to get the package unless you want to do it for the experience.
Right.
Personally, I went to Disneyland last Friday, and I was sitting without much wait ahead of time. I was next to the area that was cordoned off for the Blue Bayou to watch Paint the Night.
So how
And-
long of a wait at
Wow.
the time she's going should she expect to get in line or to find a spot before Paint the Night?
Okay,
That was one
so
of my questions. Thanks.
yeah, I would say, okay, let me think. For Paint the Night, probably I did wait a while, so maybe an hour.
Okay.
So your options are you have the Blue Bayou, and you can get on Main Street, which for the first time you're going to see the fireworks, I think is a good spot.
But it's Blue Bayou.
Yeah, but it's Blue Bayou, which is much more expensive. The other option is the Aladdin dinner, and then to get the parade viewing by It's a Small World, and then you would see the fireworks from the It's a Small World area, which is nice, but it's not. You really need to see from right for you need really need
not
to
for
see
your
the main
first
street.
time.
Yeah, not for your first time. Michael would know. He's seen all. I think almost all.
And I saw it. My first time I saw it was from It's a Small World Plaza there. So I would say see it from the Main Street area first, and then the second time, because you will want a second time, see it from Small World.
Okay.
Yeah.
That really helps because, we will have more time to hopefully see it. And I do want to do it the right way. And the only package I was considering was the Aladdin's Oasis one, I thought, but I wasn't certain about that. So we'll just skip it.
Yeah, skip
well,
it.
just because Blue Bayou doesn't sound very good from what I've heard. So I didn't want to spend that much if it wasn't going to be, necessarily a great meal for us. Right. So
And like we've said recently, the second, if there's two performances of Paint the Night, the second performance is easy to find a curbside seat too. So
Yeah.
Great. When are the fireworks if there are two performances? Are they
between?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The fireworks typically start about 10 minutes after the first Paint the Night.
Okay.
So typically, I'll say 10 to 15 minutes, but more like 10. And what my recommendation is, where the Candy Palace is, or the Penny Arcade, because it's better. You want to kind of be in that area of Main Street and make sure that you can see the left side of the sky by the castle. The fireworks, the way they shoot them off, they're off to the left of the castle. Although they do frame the castle, you don't want to be against the buildings on the left side of the street because you're going to miss some of the fireworks. So you want to go in the middle of the street and see like I said, the sky to the left of the castle. That'll be really good viewing for you on Main Street.
Great. Thank you. We'll try to do that then, for sure.
My favorite sneak up to fireworks spot is right just behind the tip board by the little drinking fountains, right on the hub area. That seems to be a really great place to kind of come into at the last minute because they rope that one area off.
But don't the trees block the fireworks?
Yes and no, but you still get a nice straight off view to the Matterhorn from there. Yeah. As well as getting the castle view, as well as getting a nice overall of the hub, because you're right on the street.
For a last minute spot, I agree with you, Nancy. That's great. But for a first time
but if you're, if you get caught up and you can't get out, it's a good, you need to know walk up places just in case.
And keep in mind that immediately following Paint the Night, they open up a lot of the streets. For viewing. So everybody kind of crowds in there. So that's all extra space that isn't there during the parade.
Okay. Great.
Yep.
And I know this is off season that we'll be traveling, but do you expect the nighttime entertainment to continue every night? It looks like it is right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the 60th?
Yep.
Is that okay? Yeah. Great. Okay. Wonderful.
And even when Disneyland wasn't doing fireworks and stuff during the nights, World of Color was still nightly. So I'm assuming they're going to continue the fireworks, and it looks as if they'll continue Paint the Night and fireworks during the off season. So.
Okay, great. Yeah, we were a little sad that we have to miss Fantasmic, but the other ones will be great, I'm sure. So, okay, good. I have a question about, we're staying at the Disneyland Hotel, like I said. Awesome. And yeah, we're so excited. And it's largely because we've heard about it on this podcast and also on the Orlando show. It's really praised highly there. Yeah. So, but one thing we've heard about was the pool closures. And we weren't sure, did I hear you had an opening date again for the pools?
March 12th.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. But must have just broken lately because I didn't know that.
Yeah, I checked this week and saw the new dates. So
Okay. I heard you say it, but then somebody was starting to say something about the game, and my husband was watching it, so I had to run out of the room, and then I lost the rest of the conversation. So, because they're watching it on a delay. So anyway, but thank you. That's great news. Because one of my questions was how we should use the pool at the Grand Californian instead, but then we won't. So that's great. If I'm staying at that hotel, then does anybody have any recommendation on if I should request a certain tower or a certain view? We have just a deluxe room. But I'm not sure if there's a particular tower that's better than others or.
Personally, I like the Adventure Tower, but you're gonna be paying for the more
That's a
premium
premium
rooms
price.
because
Yeah.
you're either gonna get a pool view, the resort view, or you're gonna get the resort view, or you're gonna get the downtown Disney view, which is really, really good. So if you want to make sure that you have a room with a good view, it's going to be the Adventure Tower. The Marine Tower would be my
what?
second choice. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's a new one.
Frontier. It's an old one, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
The Fantasy Tower and the other podcast members might have a different opinion. The podcast tower, the Fantasy Tower standard view is going to give you a view of the. It looks north, so you can see the fireworks from some of the rooms
Yes.
there. But
Wow.
my understanding is that some of the rooms might be smaller. With your family, I don't think you'll get a small room because there's 5 of you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get the room that has the day bed. But if you're going to get a standard room, to me, the Fantasy Tower's the next better option.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other tower's the Frontier Tower, and you're either going to get a pool view or you're going to get a view looking to the south with no theme park view at all. You'll get to see beautiful Garden Grove.
Yeah, Garden Grove. Yes.
Anaheim and stuff. So I would recommend the Adventure Tower and then the Marine Tower second. Does anybody else have another?
No, you just have to keep in mind that you won't get an end room unless you pay for a suite.
Okay.
Because on the end of the Adventure Tower, or not the Adventure Tower, the Frontierland Tower,
Okay.
the end of that tower is all suites, and they're connecting suites as well. I know that because I actually got them on DVC points at one point, many, many years ago. And then I agree with her about the Fantasyland Tower with the north facing,
Standard
not
rooms.
standard rooms. I agree with her definitely.
Unless you get a low floor on the Fantasy Tower, then you're overlooking the entry and the convention center. But
yeah,
usually you don't have much of a choice when you check in.
yeah.
But
You can still request ahead of time.
yeah,
We typically don't do that ourselves, but you can request an upper level. However, I think you have to pay for that also. They're considered more of a premium than the
right.
bottom line standard.
That's right. Yeah, what I have, I think, is kind of a middle, deluxe view. So it was a resort or pool view, but it was on the lower floors, not
Okay.
the higher. Like, I think it was the highest was about 5.
Okay, so if it's a resort or pool view, it sounds to me like you're going to get the Adventure Tower.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the lower, which is still fine.
Yeah.
One of the lower views.
Yeah.
It all looks gorgeous, so I'm
Yeah.
sure
The
we'll be
pool
happy
views
and-
there are not disappointing at all.
Okay, yeah, then I'll just try for one of those, and it's okay if we don't. It's going to be great anyway. So the headboards will
pool
be the
views are-
same. The boys will like that.
The pool views are much more insular, so that's kind of nice
Okay,
because you really can focus on the beautiful lighting.
nice.
And it's nice to pull your curtains open and just, sit there and enjoy the beautiful lighting coming in.
Okay,
And
great.
those rooms are, well, even if they give you a pool view room in the Fantasyland Tower, many of those have the day beds. So you still get a pretty decent sized room.
Great.
All right.
And then I was wondering about a couple of other things. I've heard a little bit about the morning power walk and the hotel tour, the Disneyland Hotel tour. I'm wondering if anybody has done that or has any thoughts on if those are worth doing.
I've done the Disneyland Hotel tour, and yes, absolutely.
I've always wanted to do the power walk because I've heard it's great, but you do have to keep a certain pace.
Yeah, I just think that looks fun to be able to see the park when it's not open yet. I know you can't take pictures. I've just read a little bit about it.
Yeah,
but,
no, I would recommend it if you're a power walker, if you enjoy that kind of early morning exercise. I would say go for it.
And the tour that Michael and I both did, it's only certain days. So check when you get there, check what days they're going to offer it, and if you want to do it, book it then.
Okay.
Because it's only 2 or 3 days a week that they do it. So.
Yeah. And as a hotel guest, you can also participate in the activities over at the Grand Californian, and they also have a wonderful tour.
Is that
that's
worth? Okay.
I think it's worth it if you're interested in the craftsman style and everything that went into building that hotel. It's fascinating just the story behind the hotel.
We had an awesome tour guide over there.
Yeah.
And I'll just add on to for the Grand Californian. One of my friends and I took that tour, and we were not hotel guests. They offer to anybody.
Yeah.
On Saturdays at 2:30 around there, something like that.
Great. And they could tell me about that when I check in at the Disneyland Hotel too. They'd probably know. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Yeah, I've heard you speak a little bit about that before, and it sounded very, very good.
What did she say
there was
that
a lot of material.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind there may be a couple things that are unique. I don't know if they're still doing them or not, but if they have a game that they sponsor via that hotel, it is only for that hotel's guests. Because I remember when they were doing certain little scavenger hunts, and then you'd return to concierge at the end of the day. And then present your whatever. They told me at the time those are specific to each hotel whenever they sponsor them. So I don't know what the current list is, but
The one when we did it with our granddaughter, it was you ended up over at Whitewater Snacks, and your prize was something edible.
How fun!
Yeah.
Nachos.
No, wasn't quite that good.
When you check into the Disneyland Hotel, you'll get a paper that tells you the different activities. So I really recommend take some, because a lot of people get the paper and they put it on the desk and they don't look at it again. Mm-hmm. Take the time to go over the papers that they give you, because they will tell you some of the activities. They're very accommodating that way.
Great. I will do that. Thank you. And then I have a question just to back up to when we're at the Anaheim Marriott. Mm-hmm. Do you think that we need to take art from there if we're going to go to like downtown Disney or go to the park that night? Would you recommend doing that? I know you've talked about art before and getting the passes.
Do you consider yourselves walkers and pretty healthy?
Pretty good walkers. And but at night when they're tired, they might not love it. Yeah. So I'm not sure.
Having an 11-year-old whiner myself, or an almost 11-year-old whiner, I can say that the walk 2 in the morning might be great, but the art back might be better.
Yeah. It's up to your family. It's how you gauge, because my cousins stayed at the Marriott. No, they stayed at the Hilton, which is next to the Marriott, and they walked to and from the parks every time. And their kids at the time were 8 and 15.
And it was fine for them?
It was fine for them. There was just no option. The parents said we're walking, and the kids said okay.
And we're used to doing some walking. Like when we stay at Disney World, we usually stay at Port Orleans Riverside, and that's a lot of walking, just to go from the bus to your room and to the...
You will have no issues.
Done.
You can see how the first day goes also. If after the first day... You say, you know what, really, because, you're walking on a lot of pavements, your feet are going to, especially if you're doing a lot of walking during the day, they might get tired and achy at the end of the day, and you want to take that ride back.
But you don't rack up near the foot miles you do at the Orlando parks. So yeah, you'll be fine.
It's still time on your feet, though.
Yeah, but still, I mean, the walk back might feel more because you're not engaged. You're not engaged with the Disney surroundings around you like you are in Florida. But experience of mile-wise, I think you'll be fine.
And I like the plan of just trying it the first day. We can see how
Yeah.
it goes. And if they're good, then they'll be good for the last couple. So,
And
then
really, like the discount for a 1 day pass versus a 3 day pass or a 5 day pass isn't that significant. So if you just need to buy day by day the passes, you can do that
Yeah.
for the
And they sell them at the Marriott, so they have kiosk, right, Mike? Right, Mike? Right, Tom? They
I'm trying to
usually have
remember where the
kiosks at
kiosk
the.
is at the Marriott. If not, the front desk will have them, but I don't remember where the kiosk is at the Marriott. I'm sure there is one.
I'm pretty sure there's one.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that because didn't you review that hotel?
Yeah.
I think you said there was one.
Okay, cool.
So,
I don't listen to myself when I talk, so.
but so many hotels, I'm sure it's hard to keep them straight.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Let's see. And about tours at Disneyland, we wanted to do at least one tour. We want to do the Walk and Waltz Footsteps for 2 of us. My 14-year-old and I are going to do that. And we were hoping to do the Discover the Magic tour, but that's on hold from what I understand because it involves Tom Sawyer Island.
Ah, yes.
So
and I don't know. Your boys might be a little on the too old side for that. What do you think, Mary Jo?
Well, I didn't go in it
Oh, you
myself,
haven't
but
done it? Okay.
no, because my nephew's chickened out. But it's a little campy, so it depends. If your 11-year-olds are still in that innocence age, like I think Nancy's 11-year-old would have a great time because she's still like
She's
that.
very 10 she's very 10.
Well, because they're. But if your boys are more on if they're beyond that, not so much into the make believe and stuff, they might not appreciate it. So that's something to take into consideration.
no, thank you. That helps. I did talk with them a little bit about it, and they sounded like they would like it.
Yeah.
I did tell them too that I thought it was going to be more of the younger kids probably who would be on it, but they like the idea, and they are that, they seem kind of younger in their age, they like that kind of thing. So I think they'd enjoy it even if they were older.
Okay. Yeah, my kids at that age would have both liked it. So
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I called Disney and they did say they were going to start it up again, but I don't know when.
Right.
So we'll just, I guess, watch for it because the other option was the California Adventure one that we thought about, but I think it's just too old for them.
yeah, the
because we were
California
thinking-
Adventures it's a mirror of the Walk and Walt Disney's. It's that type of a tour.
Mm-hmm.
So you and your 14-year-old would probably love it.
Mm-hmm.
And your 11-year-olds might not appreciate that. To me, it'd be a waste of money when you could spend the money on other things that they would have fun doing.
Especially at that price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll love just spending some more time with their dad because they haven't seen him as much. So they're happy to do that if the other tour doesn't happen. So it's okay. Okay, another question I have that I think has no easy answer is PhotoPass. Does anyone understand what's happening with that right now? I know it's a 1-day pass, but it seems a little confusing about, do you have to buy it in advance or do you get it there? Should I just watch and see?
It's very confusing right now, yeah.
I think they're still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I know once you get closer to your trip, check out the website. There's the new website and stuff. I know you can now use your phone, and I think you should be able to look at pictures on your phone. But as far as buying the CD and stuff like that, yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work once they get it all ironed out.
When I was at the Blue Sky Cellar, she was trying to set up PhotoPass on my phone on the Disney app.
Right, but you're also an annual pass holder and you get free
Right.
PhotoPass.
Right.
Okay.
So, and they're kind of leaning toward that right now, getting all the annual pass holders to realize that they have free PhotoPass downloads and stuff like that. So they're kind of setting aside the tourists for a second. It sounds like.
What I would say is go ahead and get a PhotoPass card. Take all of those opportunities. Go ahead and do them from the get-go. And then you can go to that Photoshop and they'll explain everything right there. It's always a little bit easier when they're explaining it to you in person than trying to figure it out online And I don't think that Disneyland offers any advanced sales for their PhotoPass. If we find out that they do, we'll let you know. But at this time, I don't think that they offer the advanced sales. So,
yeah, because I think they were trying to charge people the Walt Disney World price at one point, and so it was just like ridiculously expensive for the Disneyland PhotoPass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll go and do that. Just talk
But also,
to them.
the PhotoPass photographers will use your cell phone as well and take pictures or your camera. So
Yeah, that's a good option too.
Yeah.
So we'll be fine. Okay. Thank you.
one of the things, since you were talking about that, what I do want to say is when you see the PhotoPass photographers going around and doing some of their shots, for instance, Friday I was at the Paint the Night parade and they had this big round circle disc, kind of like what you and Nancy and I had for Kelly and I had for the birthday, Disneyland's birthday.
Right.
And the disc says Paint the Night, and they'll take a picture of you with that. You can flag them down and have them take it with your own camera if you're not going to use their services.
Oh, great. Okay.
And so those are fun opportunities, and they have them at some of these events like Paint the Night.
Okay, great. Thank you. I will watch for that. Okay, I have a question from one of my 11-year-olds, and this will make clear that he is younger for 11. He met Sleeping Beauty when he was 4, and we always see Sleeping Beauty when we go to the parks. Is she at Disneyland?
Yeah, because it's her
Yeah.
castle.
I thought she was, but I didn't see her on the app. It didn't look like she was listed as appearing. Maybe it's not accurate.
Here's what I recommend, especially since it's important for you guys to see her. Go to City Hall and find out what time you're going to see her. I was at Snow White's Wishing Well probably 3 weeks ago, and I saw Sleeping Beauty there in her pink dress, taking pictures with guests and stuff.
Okay.
she also is one of the one in the rotation at Fantasy Fair as well.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I have hope now. I thought she wasn't there, and I thought that was crazy because it's her castle, but I didn't know it. So, okay.
No, I was I thought it was so cute because I was like, here, she's by her castle, so what a perfect spot. I'm sorry, Michael, I talked over you.
Oh, no, that's all right. At the Times board, they can also give you that information.
Okay,
that's
Where
great.
the characters are.
That might be better than City Hall because usually City Hall has a line.
Okay.
And speaking of City Hall, make sure you get first time buttons for you guys.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we should do that for sure.
Get the first time buttons.
You can also get those at the hotel too when you check in at the front desk.
And that might be a better.
That'll save you having to wait in the City Hall line.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say they also have them in all the stores. So the hotel, like Nancy said, or the stores or City Hall to get the buttons, but don't wait in the line if you can get them someplace else.
Yeah. Well, and if you go in late in the day, if you're doing the 4 o'clock thing,
Yes.
City Hall won't be as bad.
Okay.
And they are the best name writers. so
There
sometimes
are
the stores,
differences.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to the store and they hand me the pen and have me write it myself, you know.
Classy.
Yeah, I did, because I got it from my cousins.
Well, you know, some people just know their penmanship is bad.
Well, and thinking of our first day, since it is new for us, my husband did go, but he went ages ago, like 30 years ago. So he doesn't really remember visiting Disneyland. Is there anything you think would be good for us to do right away? Like that when we get there at 4? Anything special that first day and night that you think we should do besides the parade and the fireworks if we can?
Ooh.
If you can get on Hyperspace Mountain,
And can you get fast
they won't be
passes for
able to.
that?
Yes.
there won't be
They
there
won't.
won't be fast passes that late.
Okay. All right.
Well, with the train down, that's makes things a little different because that would be our
that
first
would have been the
recommendation.
first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was going to say flag retreat, but flag retreat might be over by the time.
Yeah, that'll be
Right now, flag retreat's like at 3:45.
Yeah.
I do want to see that later. That is on my list. I think that would be good. Another day.
Well, you know, and if you just happen to get in early enough, just stop in Town Square.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's the other way to handle it.
Maybe just just go clockwise around the park and kind of get your bearings, because things are in different places if you're used to Florida.
That's a good idea. It's kind of funny. We're actually working on a map puzzle of Disneyland to get our bearings, to reorient ourselves. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle. So we're learning.
Nice.
It's kind of fun. But we'll do that because otherwise, if we just race around, it's not going to feel that magical. So we can just take our time probably, since we have 5 days more.
And, fast passes are going to be gone for most things by 4 o'clock. So maybe hit things with single rider lines such as Indiana Jones or the Matterhorn bobsleds.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, I'm excited to see that. Yeah.
No single rider line there, but yeah, the line shouldn't be bad for that.
The line shouldn't be bad, and that's considered a fast loading. They get a lot of people on there.
It's a small world as well. You should be able to get on that fairly easily.
Great. Yeah, those are 2 that we really want to see, Pirates and Small World. And my 11-year-olds aren't sure about some of the rides, like the Matterhorn and they aren't roller coaster kids, the younger ones. So that was the question I had too, was because the Matterhorn and Indiana Jones, my 14-year-old is very excited, and Hyperspace Mountain. But are those are pretty intense, aren't they?
Okay. My oldest daughter has never been much of a roller coaster girl. My littlest one, not so fond either. While they could handle the bumps and everything of the Matterhorn. And Zoe, my oldest, will go on Big Thunder Mountain. She really likes Big Thunder Mountain. She will not go back on Matterhorn per pains of death. Because it is just too creepy with Harold being all over the place.
Okay.
Because the growling of the Yeti follows you up the lift hill.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's so cool. Being boys might like that.
It depends if they're into that kind of thing or not. If they're some boys like it, some boys don't.
Well, we're talking about 2 different things. Are they easily frightened, or do they like roller coasters?
They don't like roller coasters.
Okay.
Yeah. And they,
But if they don't, because because we're talking about the Matterhorn scares them, but they don't mind roller coasters, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, and Zoe is growing to like roller coasters. Like I said, she's discovered a newfound enjoyment of Big Thunder. And so that's a big thing for her, but she still won't go on Space Mountain yet.
Okay.
She won't do, heaven forbid she won't do California Screamin'. She's still not sure about Goofy Sky School.
Maybe for roller coasters, start with Thunder Mountain, where you
try that.
Where you can see see it first. Yeah.
Start with Gadgets.
Start with Casey Jr. Circus Train.
No, but I mean, Gadget's Go Coaster is, your basic little quickie. I mean, do they go on Barnstormer?
They're 11. I mean, they can see what you could go around the corner and see what Thunder Mountain looks like and see if they want to ride it.
What do they go on in Florida?
They tried Thunder Mountain and didn't like that.
Okay.
So they wouldn't
too fast.
Splash. Yeah, I think it was too bumpy. And
then they won't like Matterhorn.
Yeah.
I'll say that the Matterhorn is not as fast as Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It's not nearly as fast, but it is bumpy. And if they do decide to go on it, make sure you go on the Fantasyland side, not the Tomorrowland side. The Tomorrowland side has it's a little dip, but it's a quick little dip that's going to kind of jerk you around. I like it, but for somebody who wants the side that faces Fantasyland, which is where Alice in Wonderland is a much smoother ride.
Okay, that's really good to know. Just in general. So.
Smoother is relative when it comes to the Matterhorn.
And if you're doing single rider, it's always the Fantasyland side. So.
Okay. And regarding single rider, if we haven't used that before. So if I'm there and my husband Jeff's there, and I have the boys in the middle, then we're pretty much fine on any ride, right?
Yeah.
Because somebody would be at the end and somebody would be at the beginning.
For the most part, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just because they haven't been to that park and all of that, just to kind of keep an eye on them.
Right.
So
Here's another thing. They might not let you do the child swap, but some of the times when my son was more timid than my daughter, so she would go on Space Mountain, he wouldn't and stuff. I told him, but we want to go on it. I realize you don't want to go with it, but we're going to stay together in the queue. And what we'd do is we'd go in the queue together. Then he would cross to the other side and wait for us. And then we'd go, the ride is like a minute long. So for him to wait a minute was no big thing. So if you're concerned about keeping your kids together because they're not familiar with the park and let's say, and the majority want to go in an attraction, they can still stay with you through the queue and just cross to the other side of the ride itself.
Yep.
okay.
And then what I used to tell my kids is, well, with my son Nick, is stay in the queue with us. You don't have to go on the ride, but think about it. And if we get to the ride, you want to ride on it, great. But if not, then okay, then you'll skip this one time. Because it's their vacation too, so I never like to force them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to force them. It's hard when you think they would like it and you want to encourage them to try it, but I'm not going to push it. So
Yeah, especially when and then they go on and they're like, it was great. And you're like, yeah, I've been telling you that.
yeah, it's good to be right. I had another character question. I've heard, is there a Mad Hatter musical chairs thing?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh. A
'Cause I
Coke
think that could
corner.
be hilarious. Oh,
Coke corner.
Okay. And is there a schedule, or do I ask somebody about it? Or?
It's every day around between 2:30 and 3 p.m. So around 2:15, go over there and grab a hot dog or, popcorn or something. Sit down there, and he will come with Alice in Wonderland. And the last time I was there were kids. All three of your boys could play, and they would have no issue with them playing. Depends how outgoing they are, or if you just want to watch it for the fun of it.
Yeah. I think they'd enjoy it. It sounds fun.
Yeah.
They like the Mad Hatter.
It's very kooky.
Yeah, and sometimes he'll be joined by Alice in Wonderland. I've even seen Peter Pan with them. So there's all kinds of characters.
great.
And Coke Corner is where Casey's is in Magic Kingdom.
Okay. Okay.
And home to the famous
Thank you.
cream cheese pretzel.
Yes.
So good.
And the and that weird hot dog that they have right now that looks so good, the pulled pork dog.
Oh, that sounds really strange. That's a hot dog?
It's a hot dog with a mound of pulled pork on top of it.
Oh, okay.
They also have a hot dog with mac and cheese on top of it.
Oh, that I could understand.
Yeah.
That's better. I just was wondering in general about handling the crowds there, because it sounds like, I know the space, things are closer together, which is great, but it feels more crowded, it sounds like, especially lately with the anniversary and some closures. Are there any tips about how to handle that, or taking a break on the weekends? I assume we should take a break at least on the weekends and just leave during the middle of the day. Do you have any suggestions on how to do that and when?
We don't normally do that.
Yeah, no,
We stay
do
the
that
whole time.
because our granddaughter will go back for a nap or something. I think you just have to gauge your family and how they are. I mean, some people like to get their rope drop, get through as many rides and attractions as they possibly can before the crowds really descend, because the locals don't get up early. So it's in the beginning, it's the resort guests and the local hotel guests, and then people will head back in the afternoon when it's warm, relax at the hotel, go swimming, things like that, and then start to come back when it cools down, in the evening for the, evening entertainment and fireworks and all that.
But once it gets busy, it doesn't stop being busy until after the fireworks.
It doesn't. Is that different from Florida, do you think?
Yes.
Because I think there you do have that spot in the middle that's bad, and then it really does slow down again. It's better, but okay. All right. Well, and we tend to more power through and not take a break, and we are rope drop people, but I just wasn't sure.
Well, you can always take your break at California Adventure.
You could, and there's plenty of little places to kind of get out for a little bit. Like you can hide on the boat dock behind Edelweiss Snacks across from the Matterhorn. You can, you can find some of those little quieter places that we talk about.
Go see Mickey and the Magical
kids.
Map, or
go see a show, that kind of thing, or go over to California Adventure, which is another thing we do.
Okay, great. And I think I even took down some notes because you talked about good spots to, was it smell the roses and just slow down?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that sounds really good. I'll have to look at that again.
Because, we do that. We'll just go and grab snacks and sit, or, let the kids dictate. Lily's really good about that when we go in the parks, so.
Great. Thank you. One place we're thinking about going, now I'm looking at restaurants, if that's okay to shift in the parks. We were thinking about trying to go, I guess this is outside of the parks, but Trader Sam's.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be hard for us to fit inside if we tried for lunch or something, wouldn't it? Because there isn't much seating.
The patio is still fun. In the evenings, they have the Hawaiian singers. And
is that weeknights too? Or is it weekends?
I thought the singers on the Friday nights. And
singers on the weekends.
Okay, we definitely want to try to catch that. So we can do that just on a Friday or Saturday.
Uh-huh.
So, okay.
And if there's something I remember they started serving like the poke from over there now over at Tangaroa Terrace, and you can get a couple things. Then you can get the long beans too.
You can always pop into Trader Sam's just to look around, even if you're not sitting at a table, especially during the afternoon where it's not crowded and busy.
Yep.
Okay. But there just wouldn't be enough seats for us to go in and get something light to eat because it's so small. It sounds like.
Yeah. So it's very extremely cozy.
If it's only 4 of you, there are tables for 4 in there.
Yeah, what we might do maybe is if the boys just want to relax in the room and they're done with the day, maybe Jeff and I'll just go down.
Yep.
Just the 2 of us. That's probably
and
the
that
way
is perfectly easy to do in this cell phone age. We do that with our kids. Ours are old enough, now at 9 and almost 11 to be able to even chill out for a few minutes while we go down, just the 2 of us, and hit the shop or,
Yeah, I
they
think
know how to
be
use
fine with
text.
that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They know how to call room service.
Yes.
Exactly, they do. It's
I don't know
scary.
if that's helpful. Okay, great. And can you hear the music from, is it Tangaroa Terrace next door if we wanted to sit outside?
It's all the same patio.
It's all the same. So they could still enjoy the music if we did that sometime.
Yes.
Okay. Great. And then we want to do Minnie and Friends that breakfast too. So we're going to try to do that.
Awesome.
I was trying to think of any other table service reservations we need to make since that's coming up. And the only ones we've got down that I was firm on so far were the Plaza Inn that breakfast,
Okay.
a Steakhouse 55 breakfast, and I thought Carnation Cafe would be good, maybe for lunch or dinner.
That's one of our favorite places.
Yep.
That sounds really good. Yeah. And before I thought Riverbell Terrace, but now I know it's different. So I don't know.
It has
The menu, so-
barbecue now.
Yeah, it doesn't sound the same, so I'm not sure. Is Jolly Holiday, is that a table service or a quick service?
Quick service.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd recommend that's a good just table service for a family that?
Plaza Inn.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
not
do
table
that.
service, though.
It's not
Table service. Carnation Cafe to me
Right.
is the best one. A lot of people like Cafe Orleans, but the options aren't a lot.
How
The
about,
Monte Cristo sandwich and a pomme frites are worth it.
Yeah,
how about PCH Grill
I would highly
Yes,
recommend that.
definitely.
over at the Paradise Pier Hotel?
Yes,
That's
definitely.
a all you can eat buffet, Karin.
Okay, and that's a good one.
Yes.
The food is tasty, and your boys would probably love it. They have make your own s'mores and stuff like that. The kids will love that.
Ribs and tri-tip. Do you guys have tri-tip in Minnesota?
No, I don't know what that is.
That's a California thing.
Yeah.
It's
Really?
a California cut. Yeah.
Is it steak? Like a...
It's like a sirloin roast, kind of.
Okay.
Only it's what they do is they angle out a section of muscle so it forms a triangular section as opposed to leaving it as part of the larger roast that we would buy in the Midwest.
Okay.
So it's like a barbecue
Says the Midwest
roast.
girl.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we were so sad that Big Thunder Ranch Barbecue that's gone.
Yeah.
Because I told everybody about it. They were all ready to be excited.
You know,
and everything kind of happened that way a little bit.
if they keep the barbecue flavors similar to the barbecue pork sandwich they used to have at the River Bell, it was a delicious sandwich. I always used to love the barbecue pork sandwich. There.
Well, maybe we should look at that then.
You know, I mean, I don't think they can go too far. I mean, obviously the resort knows how to do barbecue if they've been doing it so successfully. So all they have to do is, you know, if they transfer some of those recipes and if they transfer that original sauce recipe over, you got it made. It's not a...
But the ribs at PCH Grill are really good. So
Yes,
I mean,
very
that's a good
much so.
option, and it's actually, I think, more affordable than the Thunder Ranch Barbecue was. So.
Yes.
Okay, great.
And
Great.
it's not a bad walk from the Disneyland Hotel over to the Paradise Pier Hotel. So
It's
Not
actually
at
really
all.
close.
yeah,
Like
Okay.
across the parking lot.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, and we're happy doing lots of quick service. It's just nice sometimes to sit down and let everybody get a little break.
Right.
So, I mean, for longer. So we also are going to do, because of your recommendations, Roscoe's. I told the families
Yes.
about that.
Do that when you're at the Marriott, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Because
Tom,
my son...
can they walk there from the Marriott?
Yeah. Isn't it
I
just
was
a block or
always
two
the
down
place-
there?
What was that?
Well, yeah, they could easily walk to Roscoe's from the Marriott. I was going to ask you, what was the name of that little place that Mary Jo, you and Tom and I went with Tina and Marty?
That was the
Clancy's.
a grill. Clancy's
Yeah,
grill.
You know what?
That's-
The food was freaking
That's a
good.
little
there.
further. That's
It's
a little further down. but
It's a little further down, but the food was really good.
You also mentioned Joe's
I was just
Italian
going to
ice.
say that, and that's right near Roscoe's.
Yeah, they're
Go
all
there
within
for
walking
dessert.
distance.
You know what? You're reading my mind. I had that. And then I had Pizza Press. I don't know if I said Pizza Press. Because
Oh.
That's
So
good.
we're going to be eating pretty well,
A
I hope.
lot.
So, but that'll balance out some of the other things because those sound like they're, you know, different options than
We have
the
a
head-
lot of days too.
Yeah, which is great. We're happy. So it's a great opportunity. I have two little shopping questions
Okay.
that are
Mhm.
pretty minor, but I know there's some 60th anniversary things like pins and like Pandora charms. Those are the things I'm wondering about. Is that something that I should worry about selling out by then? Because I've been burned by like going to Food and Wine Festival near the end and they're all gone. Is that something I could even order online now if I want it? Do you think things like that are disappearing already?
The
I know
pin's
that
probably not.
I've seen the Pandora charms online.
Okay. You know
yeah,
how they-
I would say no.
Tense.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it? Okay.
No, because I don't know. You know, a lot of the 60th merchandise they made a lot of quantities of.
Okay, good.
And the celebration's going through the summer, so yeah, no,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
You should
good.
be fine.
It's a minor thing, really, but I just wanted to check in advance because I didn't want to be disappointed. So,
Mhm.
Okay, great. I think that's it for the Disneyland
Okay.
type questions.
All right. Let's wrap that up, and then next time we can talk about Hollywood and San Diego and the rest of your trip.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I have a lot of questions about that. So,
Okay, cool. We'll make sure Tony's around to answer San Diego and
thank you.
Nancy to answer Hollywood and all that.
Yep. And the hotel they picked is actually a relatively new building, so it's only a couple of years old. So
Awesome. Okay, cool.
And I have 3 tables for you to sit at the Tam O'Shanter. So every course you'll sit at a celebrity's table.
Okay, I only know one table, Michael. I want to hear the other ones. I'm excited.
Well, you have to
One
tune in.
person had 2 tables, and then there's another one you probably don't know.
Ooh.
We are so excited to go there. We're really excited. I have a son who One of my 11-year-olds, he wants to be an animator. He draws all the time, constantly. Nice. He just loves the idea that there's a special table that, what would sit at.
Did you guys used to do the drawing thing at Hollywood Studios where you would draw a character?
Yeah, we love that.
Okay, because we still have that at California Adventure, so.
Oh, good.
We'll have to do that a couple times.
In the animation building.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like that.
Awesome.
Okay,
all right. Thank you, Karin. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything to add before we go?
That was quite the full show.
There you go. All right. Thank you, everyone. That is going to do it for this segment of the Dis Unplugged. Be sure to catch all of our other Disneyland podcasts, all our other Disney Unplugged podcasts this week. Still getting used to that. And, of course, we'll be back again with you next week. Until then, remember, Disneyland is always more magical when it's shared. Thanks for listening.